All right, everyone. It looks like we're going to get started here. Thanks for joining us. I will say, if you can't hear us or you're having any problems or anything, please send us a message and let us know. Just to kind of give you a little bit of a brief overview, we're just going to be taking a high-level overview of all of our products today, some of the more important, more popular features that our customers like, and some of the software packages as well. So without further ado, we'll get started with our first product, which is also our newest product, the DENS. The DENS is a sturdy device with aluminum casing that is great for the press room floor as it can handle wear and tear. The DENS is simple with only 3 buttons. It's also fast as it takes readings in under half a second. It only does 3 types of readings: density, dot gain, and film transmission readings. And it also comes with this handy loupe or illuminated magnifying glass built into the device. The next product we're going to talk about is our PressLink software. PressLink software combined with our SpectroDrive scanner can modernize your press with the latest in closed-loop technology. Data is sent from prepress to our file converter. From there, the file is processed and the ink keys are preset based on the color values. The press operator will then scan a sheet's color bar with our SpectroDrive, and final adjustments will be sent to the ink keys via our color control software. The cost of a PressLink closed-loop system is approximately $50,000. And can vary, different things like the age of the press, the manufacturer, the file types being used, could make that number go up or down a little bit just depending on what those options are. All of our customers using this solution realize a full return on their investment within 6 months of implementation, as you can see by the return on investment spreadsheet that's up on the screen. Now I'm going to hand it off to Chelsea to talk about our next device.
Great, thanks, Devin. Well, as most of you guys know, the SpectroDens is our flagship product. It's our handheld SpectroDens photometer. It's extremely easy to use, very fast, 1 second per measurement, and it has a running list of functions such as scanning and spot check measurements. The unit is extremely reliable as we stand behind all of our products offering a 2-year warranty. Since it is our flagship product, I'm just going to dive into a few of the key features. The first feature I'm going to talk about is the density CMYK feature. Here it displays a color's true spectral density. It's going to show you the density value in terms of cyan, magenta, yellow, and black process colors. The advantage that we have here with this feature is the ability to provide a true maximum density measurement of a spot color. Most other densitometers measure spot color density based on the combination of the 4 process colors, but in fact that's inaccurate. Another cool feature we're going to talk about is Espresso Mini. It mimics a manual scanning program. It's going to allow the user to read 10 CMYK measurements at a time across an entire press sheet and then view the readings in graphical form. For visual learners like myself, I really like this feature. As each measurement is taken, the value is represented by a vertical bar. You'll see it right here on your screen. It's going to show you how far you're away from your target density, as well as showing the actual reading along the horizontal graph right here. And I'm just actually going to hand it back to Devin, who's going to dive into a few of the color features on the SpectroDens.
Thanks, Chelsea. What we're seeing on the screen now is our C-Lab mode. Our LAB mode is used to take colorimetric measurements in accordance with the ISO standard and show the delta E value describing the difference between 2 colors. The way this works is the operator measures a color target, or they can import it from a color library to obtain their reference LAB value, which you can see by the blue image on the left that says reference 8. Then the operator would measure a corresponding color sample LAB value, which is the blue image on the right. The visual representation helps as you can actually see the difference in the colors. That's not good enough for most of our customers, so with delta mode turned on, the delta E between the reference and the sample color is displayed. In this case, you can see the delta E is 0.57. And here we're using delta E 1976, but we do also have the 2000 CMC and other standards as well. The next feature I'm going to talk about is one of our customers' favorites, InkCheck. InkCheck and its companion function ISO check suggests ink key specific density changes based on the measurements you've taken. In this example, as you can see here on the screen, the delta E is 3.4. Basically, what all those numbers are telling you is that you can reduce the delta E to 0.8 by increasing the magenta ink density by 11 points. InkCheck uses your own color libraries, while ISOCheck uses international standard color libraries for recommendations. This is great because it gives the user suggestion, which is better than just guessing. Last feature of the SpectroDens that I'm going to talk about is our pass-fail feature. It's an easy, efficient method to manage quality control in a production environment. A quality manager would basically establish reference values from direct measurements or from their color libraries. Then the quality manager sets allowable color tolerances in terms of delta E. Once the user takes a measurement, they'll receive a quick pass or fail notification, as you can see on your screens. A lot of these different things can actually be locked down, so basically all the end user can do is click the green button, to take a measurement, and then easily just see if they've passed or failed. And now next, we're going to show you a quick video to introduce our next function.
Well, next looks like we got ourselves a fight, huh? Great, it's fighting time. Can I be on their side? Looks like there's going to be a brawl. You playing something good? Hell yeah! Rolling Stone, Street Fighting Man, G7! You just hit G8. If you like G, then you'll
Well, thanks for that introduction, Chris. For those of you guys who are G7 certified, you're going to love our gray guide function. Selecting Gray Guide allows the user to check printed values against published G7 values. As users, you can easily edit the G7 values to your specific requirements. First, a paper white measurement is taken to subtract out the CMY neutral values. Highlight range in CMY neutrals is automatically displayed, as is shadow contrast and highlight contrast readings. Solid color readings display delta E values from your targets. The neutral values are displayed as the CMYK values. The next feature I'm going to talk about is the media wedge. Well, the SpectroDens is primarily a spot measuring device. It's also equipped with 4 small wheels on the bottom, which allows for scanning up to 54 patch color bars. This media wedge feature is a scanning function on the SpectroDens. Once scanned, the unit displays the delta E of the printing substrate, primary colors, all of the patches, and the CMY grayscale patches. It's also indicating whether it's within tolerance or not by putting a check mark to say it's within and a bright red X to say that it's out. As you'll see on this screen, our printing substrate is out, primary colors in, patches are in, CMY patches are in.
All right, so now we're going to move on from the SpectroDens to cover some of our other products. The next product we're going to talk about is our SpectroPlate. The SpectroPlate is obviously a plate reader. It differs from the SpectroDens in that it uses a high-definition microscope to take plate measurements. The SpectroPlate measures dot percentage, screen angles, dot gain, and lines per inch. We have 3 different models of the SpectroPlate. 2 of them can measure conventional plates, while the third measures processless plates. Just like our other Spectro series products, the SpectroPlate takes a measurement in under a second. Most of our customers love having the ability to build transfer curves with our quality control software that comes standard with the device.
We have 2 scanning spectrophotometers, our SpectroDrive and the SpectroJet. SpectroDrive is an automated scanner, while our SpectroJet is a manual scanner. Both units scan a press sheet color bar in a matter of seconds while sending spectral and density measurement to the PC running our Espresso software. The scanners can also serve as a handheld device for spot check measurements. You might ask yourself, well, why do I need a scanner? Well, scanners allow more productivity, greater cost savings, and greater control.
All right, now what you're looking at on the screen is a snapshot of our quality control software, SpectroConnect. SpectroConnect is a companion software for all of our Spectro series of products. It's used to import and manage your color libraries, including Pantone, export measurements to spreadsheets, update firmware, display readings, and much more. SpectroConnect is included in the case with our Spectro series of products, and it's always downloadable from our website, and the best part is it's free of charge. Now we're going to talk about our last piece of hardware, the SpectroEdge, which is a SpectroDens photometer that can be used as an inline device on a digital press or it can be mounted to a flexo press. It takes measurements at preset intervals or via a hardwired signal initiated by the press operator. Our software instantly interprets the color values based on those measurements, and it makes automatic on-the-fly adjustments. This ensures the highest quality with the least amount of user intervention.
Now we're going to briefly talk about our Chroma QA. Chroma QA is our quality assurance software solution. We designed it to monitor the color quality of the print job, reduce the amount of remakes, and recognize huge savings in ink and paper waste by detecting the problems early on in your print process. Chroma allows users to match your brand colors, use less ink, and connect multiple jobs and presses by the cloud. Many of our customers use Chroma mainly for its reporting, which provides trending and analytical reports. Well, that about wraps up the product line webinar, and now we're hoping to open up the floor for a question and answer session. So if you guys have any questions, just submit it using the GoToWebinar pane, and we'll answer them as they come in. Well, here's one question. It says, how do I establish aim values for spot colors? Well, you can establish color aim values by importing industry color libraries, typing in your LAB values, or you can measure an approved proof and use those measurements as your target values.
We also have another question here about if we can connect the SpectroEdge with web offset. We do have a couple different solutions for that. Basically, anything that's sheet-fed, we would probably recommend more of our closed-loop solution. Anything that would be on a web, we would be able to either mount the edge or do something with the edge to make it work. So it really depends on the speed of the press, but either way, we do have a solution basically for a web offset press. It would just be something we, I guess, have to take a deeper dive into and get a little bit more info on your specific press. We have a question here about newspapers. No, the device is not designed for newspapers. The Edge, I should say. We have another question. Can you scan a media wedge with SpectroDens? My model doesn't have any wheels. I actually think... Huh?
I think that's actually our older version of the SpectroDens. It's the one with the black and white display screen. But the new one has the wheels that scans up to 54-inch patch color bars. Maybe we could work out some kind of trade-in.
We have another question on here about color catcher. That's not something we were really planning on addressing today. Is that it's a product manufactured out of Germany, and it's not really something that we're involved in here in the U.S.
It's for OEMs. Just go through these as they're coming in, sort them out. There's one question here. It says, do I need to install the SpectroConnect at every press? The answer to that is no. In most plants, you can use SpectroConnect in an office machine to manage color libraries of the production floor, but if you want to collect data at each press, you can install the software at each press if you wish.
I see we have another question about the SpectroEdge for web offset. If you want, Moe, we can take this offline. I can follow up after the webinar here today. We can discuss it a little bit deeper. We have another question about sorry, just going through these, a lot coming in at once. Can it control with PressLink how to control ink zone while ink keys is on the wide side, but SpectroEdge can't install on wide side of paper? Again, as far as our PressLink software goes, that's designed to work, partially offline with the press by taking readings with our SpectroDrive scanner and partially, presetting the ink keys. It's not designed to work with our SpectroEdge. But again, maybe that's something that we can work on and talk to you about a little bit more in detail offline.
Does your spectral tool read fabric or paint swatches and convert to CMYK values? It does not read the fabric, but it can definitely read paint swatches if that's what you're looking to do.
And it can, you can take readings on fabric with it. It's just not necessarily designed to take fabric readings. As you probably know, most of the time fabric has a lot of light shining through it, so it's hard to actually take an actual reading with it. So. We have another question here, if we can, I guess, answer, how can we compare the SpectroDens to the X-Rite, which I would assume the X-Rite Exact. Our device is faster than the X-Rite device.
Through 1 second per measurement.
Yeah, through 1 second per measurement. It has less moving parts than the Exact. It does not have that clamshell design. Our aperture is on the side of the device, so it makes it a lot easier to know where you're going. Our device scans out of the box, as it has those 4 wheels on the bottom, as opposed to the X-Rite device needing a carriage, I think they say, to be able to do scanning as well.
And don't forget, we stand behind all of the products with a complete 2-year warranty.
Yeah, 2-year warranty, and we give a 30-day money-back guarantee on all of our products as well. So just, to summarize again, the device is faster and it's more accurate than the X-Rite device, and we stand behind that by giving anyone a chance to test our device out.
Hold on, we're just trying to read through them as they're coming in.
We have a question about the ink formulation software. We don't currently have an ink formulation or ink manufacturing software of our own.
There is another one here that says, can I measure my colors against the Pantone library? And yes, you can definitely just download the Pantone library directly to the device.
And you can do that through the SpectroConnect software.
Yep.
We have a question about EasyTrax's motor moved, but the SpectroJet is manually moved, and wouldn't it be a weak point of the SpectroJet? It would, but we also have the SpectroDrive, which is an automated device. The SpectroDrive is what I would compare to, the EasyTrax or the IntelliTrax. And as far as ink formulation goes, it's always something that we've been looking at. And is possible for the future, not necessarily something that we've been able to find a good fit with yet, though.
Mm-hmm.
We'll wait another minute just to see if anything else comes through.
There's another question that comes in. It says, does your unit support measuring conditions, measuring standards? And yes, the SpectroDens, it's the M0 through M3 measuring conditions that we have on the unit.
So we have a question about the pricing, which I think we can, again, try to take that offline. We can get back to you afterwards. So with web offset, we have a question about using closed loop with web offset. There are a few options. I mean, the easiest way for the customer to do it, again, basically, once you hit the ink presetting, the customer is going to print, and then after a certain amount of pages, they're going to pull one of their sheets off to take a measurement with our SpectroDrive. So the customer, if they were willing to, could tear a sheet off, bring it over to the console, and take a scan with our SpectroDrive, and it would work the same way as any other closed-loop solution would work at that point.
There's one other question just came in right now. It says, what delta E values are typically acceptable in commercial printing? We like to say that a delta E between 2 and 3 is considered a pretty good match.
And it really depends. Some people want it within a quarter of a delta E or a half of a delta E. Those are really hard targets to hit. So usually somewhere within 2 or 3, like Chelsea said, is a good target.
Well, if we don't have any more questions, I think that probably about wraps it up. But if you do think of any questions in the meantime, please don't hesitate to shoot us an email, or you can give us a call here at the office.
One more question did just come in. We do have some documentation comparing X-Ray in our device and all the functionality. So we should have, whoever just asked that, we do have your email. So we'll reach out to you afterwards via email and provide that document. And yes, this is after the Q&A, the presentation is done.
Yeah, that was one more question, yep.
So again, it was just, a high-level overview of all of our products. If people have other questions or want to take a deeper dive into some of the products, we'd be happy to take some conversations offline, find out a little bit more about your applications so we can, I guess, properly address them and get you the correct solution. All right. Well, again, thank you all very much for attending today and for all your great questions. If anyone needs anything afterwards, do not hesitate to email Chelsea or myself.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy the rest of the day.